that Palm Beach Atlantic had early on in this game. Saints were led in scoring in the first half by Keith Matthews. 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from three-point land. Struggled a little bit shooting the basketball, but he had 9 points, also tacked on 8 rebounds on his way to another double-double. Matthews coming off a game in which he had 18 points and 21 rebounds. Sailfish with the basketball to start the half. They have it inside to Tucker. Tucker, a beautiful wraparound pass and a lay-in there for Alan Hardy. Dennis Diaz with the basketball for the Saints. It's Diaz, Manigo, Gibson, Brown, and Matthews on the floor to start the half. Manigo with it now, 15 on the shot clock. He drives to his right, loses the ball on the way up, and it's taken away by the Sailfish. Hardy pulls up, fakes the shot, passes to his brother. Shot off the mark, off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound tapped out of bounds by Matthews. It'll stay Sailfish basketball. Evan Graham will inbound for the Sailfish. His pass is stolen away. Dennis Diaz on the fast break. He's falling to the ground, and his shot attempt is punched away by the Sailfish, but it'll stay with the Saints. Brown with it, passes to Gibson, hands back off to Brown. And now Matthews wide open for 3, off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Hardy, and quickly the other way come the Sailfish. Williams with the ball, passes into Tucker. Hardy now gives in to Tucker. Tucker working on Gibson. Tucker with a really nice move working towards his right. Desmond Gibson did a good job of not fouling, but he was beat to his right. And the Sailfish lead 41-32. Matthews gives to Manigo. Now Diaz with it. Drops it off for Brown. Brown with 10 on the shot clock. He goes to work, dribbles behind the back, gets into the lane. Shot attempt is up and good and one.
Nice layup by
Richard Brown with a 3-point play possibility here. Brown playing a very good game so far. He's got 10 points. He also had 3 assists in the first half. Free throw is up, off the iron, and it rolls through. And the Saints will come out with a 2-2-1 press. Graham gives off to Williams, and now into the front court come the Sailfish. Hardy with it, throws it off of Gibson's knee, and now the other way come the Saints. Richard Brown in transition, spins in the lane, gets the layup to go. Richard Brown spinning, puts the right-handed layup in. Now quickly the other way come the Sailfish as the Saints are on a 5-0 run. Hardy gets into the lane, passes off to his brother. Shot is up and good and one for him. Marcus Hardy. The assist will go to his brother, Alan Hardy. The Detroit connection there. Gets 2 points and a free throw possibility coming. 10 points now for Marcus Hardy in this game. Saints trailing 43-37. Free throw from Hardy is pure. Matt Conway checking into the game for the Saints. Desmond Gibson will come out. Gibson, very valuable defensive player, but offensively hasn't put it quite together yet in his Flagler Saints career. Now Richard Brown with the basketball. Brown gives to Conway. Diaz well defended there. Now he picks up his dribble too soon. Gives to Matthews, back to Diaz. Diaz steps into a 3. That's off the mark, no good. Rebound tipped by Conway, rebounded by Manigo. Ball's on the ground. Conway with it, passes out to Diaz. Diaz will shoot the 3. This one is up, off the iron, no good as well. Rebound being tipped around. Manigo with it again. and they get it out to Richard Brown. Brown pulls up for a 2, and he gets it to go. Richard Brown with 7 points already in the second half. He's got 15 for the game. Now the other way come the Sailfish. Tucker gets into the lane. Fall away left-handed hook shot is put in. We've got some pretty athletic play going on here. And we've got an offensive foul call. Saints commit the offensive foul. They're going to say Matt Conway with an illegal screen. And that's the third foul on Matt Conway. Matt with 0 points in the game so far. On the season, he is the Saints' second leading scorer. He averages just over 13 a game, but they come in spurts. He's a streaky three-point shooter. So he can put up 12 points in a minute if he wants to. Not unusual to see him held scoreless so far. Sailfish will inbound the ball from the far sideline. Saints will apply a little bit of pressure. Tucker with it now, gives off to Du Bois. Du Bois dribbling around, 20 on the shot clock. Ball is kicked by Richard Brown. Kickball violation on the Saints. The ball will be inbounded underneath the basket. Coach Clark calling out for his guys to watch the lob off of this play. Ball's inbounded and stolen by Matt Conway. Heads up play by Conway to turn around there. And now Brown in transition for the Saints, passes to Diaz. A long two-point jumper rattles out for Diaz. Matthews fighting for it on the glass. He gets the rebound and puts the shot up and through. Keith Matthews with 11 points and at least 9 rebounds by our count on the game, on his way to another double-double. Hardy with it. Entry pass to Kenning. Kenning working on Conway. Conway, very good defense. Kenning, better offense. Hook shot falling to his right is good. Kenning with 5 points on the game now. Dennis Diaz pulls up. A two-pointer is good for Dennis. He's been struggling shooting the ball today, but he's got 5 points now as he gets that one to go. Martinez with it for the Sailfish. Passes to Hardy. Hardy driving to his right. He's cut off. Martinez with the ball, gives to Tucker. Tucker into Hardy. Hardy gets the layup up and through. Alan Hardy with the left-handed lay-in. And the Sailfish keep the lead at 7. Richard Brown passes to Conway. Matthews spinning to his right. Fall away jumper is good. Keith Matthews on the block. Falling towards the baseline, gets the shot to go. Now quickly the other way. Hardy, strong right-handed shot off the mark, no good. Rebound ends up in the hands of Diaz. Diaz moving in transition. No look pass to Manigo. Manigo, a right-handed hook shot. He gets it off the front of the iron to roll through. We've got a whistle on the floor, waiting for an explanation. Delay of game warning is going to go against Richard Brown for tipping the ball after it went through the basket. And we've got a timeout on the floor as we're under 16 minutes, 14 minutes and 13 seconds left to be exact. The Saints have cut the lead to 3. It's 50-47. You're listening to Saints basketball. Back at the Flagler Gymnasium, Saints trailing 50-47. The Sailfish of Palm Beach Atlantic leading this one, and they have the basketball. Dombrowski with it at the top of the key. Passes into Kenning. Kenning working on Conway. Conway blocks the shot. Athletic move from Conway, but Kenning gets it back. Shoots it, no good. We've got a foul. I'm not sure who the foul is going to be on. It'll go against the Saints, Dennis Diaz. So Diaz picks up his third. It hasn't been one of Diaz's stronger performances. And Dombrowski will go to the free throw line. They're going to say it was in the act of shooting as he was trying to tip a shot in. Dombrowski's free throw off the back of the iron, no good. Dombrowski on the season averaging just 7.7 points per game. He has 2 points in 3 games played in just 6 minutes. His second free throw is up and through. Lead up to 4. Brown with it, moves to his right, passes to Conway. Conway pulls up for a long three. Off the iron, no good. Rebound Dombrowski. Dombrowski looking for help, hands off to Graham. Graham running, looking at his options, gives to Dombrowski. A long three-point attempt from Dombrowski. Off the iron, no good for him. Rebound to Marshall. He's got a double-double today. Oxendine gives to Diaz. Now Diaz moving towards the baseline. A jumper for Diaz, a little too strong, no good. Diaz still struggling from the field. Now Graham in transition, gives to Hardy, and we've got a travel called on Hardy. Substitutes for the Saints, Lydell Manigo and Desmond Gibson check in. Matthews and Diaz will check out. Brown gives to Gibson. Gibson dribbling at the top of the key, gives back to Brown on the wing. Brown working on Graham, dribbles towards the middle, gives to Oxendine. Oxendine a pull-up long two, it rattles out, no good. Gibson with the rebound, his putback doesn't go, gets that, and then his second putback attempt is good. Desmond Gibson's athleticism coming into play there, and the lead is just 2. Sloppy possession for the Sailfish. Ball's falling out of bounds, and Desmond Gibson throws it off of a Sailfish. So it'll be Saints basketball. They've got a chance to tie or take the lead. Kennan comes out of the game. Tucker comes in. Oxendine with it. Passes to Brown. Brown tries to get it into Gibson. The ball's kicked. Kickball violation there on Clayton Williams, and it'll stay with the Saints. Brown with 15 on the shot clock. He'll dribble out and call a play. Has a screen up top from Gibson. Pulls up for 3 and drains it. Richard Brown gives the Saints the lead, 52-51. Richard Brown really taking over this game offensively as everyone else has been a little cold. Martinez with it for the Sailfish, passes around, Hardy has it. Martinez passes into Hardy. They try a backdoor lob. Tucker wasn't on the same page, and Conway takes it away. Now in transition, Manigo gets to the cup, and he gets it to go. 2-point bucket there for Lydell Manigo. And the Saints now lead by 3. It's been a nice stretch here since the timeout for the Saints. Now the other way, Tucker is fouled by Conway. That's the 4th foul on Matt Conway, who's being asked to guard some bigger players in this game. Adam Jones unavailable for the Saints today. And Keith Matthews has been phenomenal, but they need another man on the front line, and Conway's been asked to be that guy. We've got a timeout on the floor. The Saints lead 54-51. Free throws coming for the Sailfish. You're listening to Saints basketball. Back at the Flagler Gymnasium, Tucker at the free throw line for the Sailfish. He makes his first. Saints lead now by 2, 54-52. Tucker has 11 points in this game. He and Hardy have been the best players on the floor for the Sailfish. Second free throw is good. 1 point lead for the Saints. Oxendine with it. Full court pressure being applied by the Sailfish. Gibson passes to Brown. He has 3 seconds to get it across the timeline, and he does. Now gives to Oxendine. Brown with it, passes to Matthews. Swing it around, now Gibson has it at the top of the key, gives to Matthews. 6 on the shot clock. He's got to isolate. He pulls up for 3 and drains it. With Hardy all over him, Keith Matthews drains a 3. 16 points in this one for Keith Matthews. Another strong performance from him with a double-double. Tucker with it. Passes inside it to a cutting Graham. He loses it, has to step back out. Now Graham loses the basketball. Brown nearly steals it, but Clayton Williams is there to clean up. Now the Sailfish making some dangerous plays. They drive into the lane, pass to Tucker. Now Graham has it. He drives to the lane. He loses it. Now going the other way is Oxendine. Oxendine is fouled and one. Jarrell Oxendine had Keith Matthews running with him. Could have passed off. Chose to keep it. Gets the and one to go. And now the Saints lead is 6. Oxendine with a chance to extend the lead to 7. He's been good today as well. He's got 5 points. Doesn't play as many minutes as primarily the backup to Richard Brown, but they've played both point guards on the floor at the same time today, and it's paid off. Oxendine's free throw attempt rattles out, no good. So the Saints still with a 6-point lead. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the ballgame. Graham, who has been held in check today, 0 points, the leading scorer on the season for the Sailfish. Kickball violation on the Saints as the Sailfish were trying to get the ball into Tucker. Tucker has been phenomenal working in the paint today in isolation moves. Sailfish inbounding. They get it into Girl. Girl gives to Clayton Williams. Williams a quick trigger on the 3 off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound strongly grabbed by Richard Brown. Probably the smallest player on the floor at the moment. He comes up with it. Saints at the other end. Matthews with it. Spins baseline. Fall away jumper. Rolls out, but he will go to the free throw line. That foul's going to go on Jeff DuBois of the Sailfish, and Keith Matthews will go to the free throw line. He's got 16 points. Only Richard Brown among players in this game has more points. Brown with 18. Matthews has a chance to get to that number if he can convert from the stripe here. Free throw is up, and that one rattles out. Went halfway down before coming out. Saints still lead by 6. Matthews' second free throw is up. This one no good either. In his last game, he had 18 points and 21 rebounds, but left 9 points at the free throw line. Girl with it. He's guarded by Matthews. Passes out. Now Girl gets it in the corner. He drives, passes inside. Ball's out of bounds. Last touched by the Sailfish. Turnover for the Sailfish. Brown slips and falls, and the ball's taken away from him. Clayton Williams gets a lay-in. They've got a timeout on the floor as they're going to try to clean up this spot where Richard Brown slipped and fell. He slipped and fell on his back while dribbling, nearly kept his dribble alive, was getting up and slipped and fell again before Clayton Williams was able to get it. So 2 points there by way of the floor. They're still working on cleaning up the wet spot there. Saints will inbound. Lead is down to 4 now. Richard Brown with it. Oxendine, a no-look pass to Manigo, is able to beat the press. And now Brown with it in the front court. Brown splits a double team. They don't really advance on it, though, and they'll pull it back out. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Brown passes to Oxendine. He pulls a long three and drains it. Jarrell Oxendine, his second three-pointer of the game. He's got 8 for the day. 62-55. Saints lead by 7. Sailfish with the ball. Giro looking for Tucker. Gets it in. He's guarded by Gibson. Passes back to Giro. Now a handoff. A shot is up. No good, but fouled is Allen Hardy. Hardy will go to the free throw line. Nearly a three-point play there. We've got a timeout on the floor. We're under 8 minutes left to go in this ball game. The Saints lead 62-55. You're listening to Saints basketball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Flagler Gymnasium. Saints lead this one 62-55, just under 8 minutes to play in the ball game. Sailfish at the free throw line. Alan Hardy was fouled just before the break. Hardy's first free throw attempt is off the front of the iron, no good. Alan Hardy on the season, 7 of 9, now 7 of 10. Came into this game shooting 78% from the charity stripe. That one didn't even come close. Second free throw attempt is good. Richard Brown and Lydell Manigo not on the same page there, and Brown throws the ball out of bounds. Sailfish with a chance to cut into the deficit here. It's only 6 at the moment. Ball is kicked by Richard Brown. It'll stay Sailfish basketball as it dribbled out of bounds. Graham to inbound. He's still got 0 points in this game, and he came in averaging over 11 as the leading scorer for this Sailfish team. Clayton Williams drives in, passes off, ends up back in his hands. Shot off the iron, no good. Rebound ends up with Richard Brown. And now the Saints have a 3-on-1. Matthews with it in transition. Gets it off the iron and one. Keith Matthews with 18 points in this game. Jarrell Oxendine with a good decision to give up the ball there. At the free throw line is Keith Matthews. He had 18 points a game ago. He's got 18 points here tonight. And the foul is going against Garrett Tucker. A little bit of confusion on who that foul was going to go against. Matthews free throw off the front of the iron, off the back of the iron, and no good. Unfortunate bounce there for Matthews, who has struggled from the free throw line all season. Matthews, as good as he has been, is shooting just 40% from the foul line coming into this game. Graham with the basketball. And we've got a foul off the ball. They're going to call Lydell Manigo. They're going to say he held trying to guard Tucker on the block. Significant mismatch with Tucker, who's very good isolating in the post, and Manigo, who's a smaller guard. It's the third foul on Lydell. Ball's inbounded to Hardy. Hardy gets a tough shot to go, floating through the lane. Hardy with 13 points now leads the way for the Sailfish. Oxendine with the ball for the Saints. Nice no-look pass to Matthews. He rushed the shot a little bit and missed it short. Rebound to the Sailfish. Shot attempt is up. A late foul call will go against Desmond Gibson, who nearly blocked that shot. And going to the free throw line will be Graham, with a chance to put himself in the scoring column. He has yet to do so today. He came into the game averaging 11.2 points per game. He shoots the ball more than 9 times per game. His free throw is up and good. So now he sees one go through. You wonder if that will get him going offensively. That was the 7th team foul on the Saints as well. So now from here on out, free throws to come for the Sailfish at every whistle. Second free throw off the iron, no good. Long rebound with Tucker, and he loses it out of bounds. No, it stays in. Hardy with the rebound. He can't get the shot to go. It's no good. His putback nearly blocked by Gibson. Can't get it to go. And we've got a foul going against the Sailfish as Gibson grabs the board. Foul is going to go against Garrett Tucker. Desmond Gibson doing a good job there, nearly blocking Hardy's shot and then eventually getting the rebound. cleaning up another wet spot on the floor. As the Saints lead by 5, they've got the basketball. Coach Clark wants the Saints to run some motion offense here. Quick double team coming over the half-court line. Conway passes into Gibson. Gibson gives back to Conway. Back into Gibson, some two-man game. Gibson's shot is partially blocked. It's no good. Graham passes in transition to Hardy. Hardy, very difficult shot, can't get it to roll home as he fell towards the baseline. Gibson with the rebound. And now Brown passes to Conway. Conway, a pull-up three-point jumper. That one goes halfway down before coming out. Rebound to Giral. Running are the Sailfish. Passing inside, Tucker with an up fake, and Conway blows by him. He gets the two-point bucket to go. All of a sudden, the Saints only lead by 3 again. Tucker now the leading scorer for the Sailfish. He's got 14. Conway with the basketball. Gives back to Brown. Swung around the other way. Oxendine driving baseline, loses it out of bounds. It was not touched by the Sailfish. And we've got a substitution as Tucker will come out of the game. Corey Kenning will come in. Tucker's been very good, but we've seen Kenning come in off the bench quite a bit today. He's got 5 points so far in this one. Martinez with the basketball for the Sailfish. 5 minutes to go in the ballgame. Kenning with it on the block. He's guarded by Gibson. Hook shot for Kenning. Off the mark, no good. Rebound ends up with Giral. And now driving to the lane is Graham. His shot is partially blocked. We've got a foul called. His body's hit the floor. That foul's going to go against Keith Matthews. He'll pick up his second. And going to the free throw line for 2 is Graham. Graham's got 2 points, both coming, or 1 point rather, coming from the free throw line in this game, and that is it. Very quiet day for the leading scorer from the Sailfish. More wet spots on the floor. A lot of loose balls in this game. It's been very physical. So stepping to the free throw line now is Evan Graham. Free throw for Graham is up and good. Saints lead by 2. Second free throw from Graham. This one's up and good as well. So a 1 point ball game here in the Flagler Gymnasium. And we've got a timeout called by Coach Bo Clark. Coach Clark wants to talk things over here. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the game. Saints lead by 1 with the basketball. We'll be right back. Back at the Flagler Gymnasium, Saints with a 1-point lead in this game. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game. Richard Brown's got a couple seconds to get across half court. He does. And now the Saints speed up once they get across half court. Oxendine is fouled driving to the bucket. Jarrell will get to go to the free throw line. He's got 8 points in this game. Pretty good offensive performance from Jarrell Oxendine. Corey Kenning picks up the foul, his second. Free throw by Oxendine is up and good. Saints with a 2-point lead now as Tucker checks out. Tucker checks in rather. Kenning checks out. Oxendine second free throw is good as well. Saints extend the lead to 3. Sailfish have not been particularly hot shooting the long ball in this one. Graham with it. He wants to isolate. Passes inside to Hardy now. Hardy gets the bucket to go and a foul. Creative play there from the Sailfish. A little bit of two-man basketball between Graham and Hardy, and Keith Matthews commits the foul. That's his third. Matt Conway out there playing with 4 personals, as is Desmond Gibson. The front line of the Saints a little bit depleted today. Hardy with the ball. Free throw is good. So we've got a tie ball game here at the Flagler Gymnasium. 16 points from Hardy. He leads the Sailfish. Brown gives to Gibson. Matthews driving the lane. We've got a foul called and one. Keith Matthews gets a fall away jumper to go off the glass, and he was fouled. Matthews gets to go to the charity stripe. Matt Conway will check out of the game. Dennis Diaz comes in. Diaz playing with 3 fouls. Matthews, though, has a chance to extend this to a 3-point lead. He's got 20 points in this one now. Another wet spot on the floor. Saints lead by 2. Matthews has 20 points to go along with, we don't have the live stat number for you right now, but at least 10 rebounds in this game. So another outstanding performance from the Fairfield University transfer. Family in the stands watching him. The free throw is up and good. 21 points now for Keith Matthews, and the Saints lead by 3. 4 minutes to go in the game. Graham with the basketball. Gives to Hardy, back to Martinez. Ball's being swung around. A lot of cuts on this play for the Sailfish. They're looking to get it to Tucker in the post. Tucker well defended by Gibson there. Nice job by Desmond. Now the ball on the other block. Girl guarded by Diaz. Shot off the iron. No good. Rebound batted around. And we've got a tie-up. Desmond Gibson and Garrett Tucker were fighting for that ball. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Media timeout. 3:35 to go in this game. Saints lead by 3, 69-66. We'll be back in a minute from Flagler Gymnasium. Thanks for listening to Saints basketball. Welcome back to the Flagler Gymnasium. We've got a real exciting finish coming up here between the Flagler College Saints and the Palm Beach Atlantic Sailfish from West Palm Beach. It's a 3-point game right now. Saints lead 69-66. Saints basketball off the jump ball right before the timeout. Possession arrow pointed to the Saints. So now the arrow will switch and any future jump ball will go to the Sailfish. Richard Brown has the basketball. He's guarded by Clayton Williams. Brown gets across the timeline. Brown nearly loses it, passes off to Gibson. And Oxendine with it now for the Saints. Oxendine swings it around to Brown. And now Diaz gets it inside to Gibson. Back to Brown, and now Oxendine's got a three if he wants it. He pulls the trigger, and that one's good. Terrell Oxendine confidently stepped into that one. He's got 13 points in the ball game. Big offensive day from Terrell Oxendine on the season, averaging 9 points per game. Now the Sailfish with it. Lob inside to Hardy. Hardy is fouled by Matthews and one. Keith Matthews bit on the up fake. And a good job by Hardy of staying put, drawing the contact, and spinning the ball off the backboard. So now Hardy, who has 18 points on the day, can cut it to a one-possession game again and negate Oxendine's three just like that. Hardy's free throw is off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound, Desmond Gibson. Strong rebound from Des. That's the fourth foul on Keith Matthews. So Matthews and Gibson both out there playing with four. Conway has four. He's on the bench right now. Richard Brown with the ball. Ten on the shot clock. Oxendine with it. Dribbles towards the middle. Throws a lob into Gibson. Gibson can't get the shot to go. Shots off the mark. Rebound and tip-in is good by Keith Matthews. Matthews adding to his numbers for the day. He's got 23 points, and the Saints lead by 6. 2 minutes to go in the game. Tucker in the post. He's guarded by Gibson. Tucker, easy hook shot, no good. Well short. Rebound out of bounds. Last touched by Graham of the Sailfish. It'll be Saints basketball. Saints can run the clock down a little bit here as they have a 6-point lead. Everybody in the backcourt now for the Saints. Ball's inbounded to Matthews. He gives to Oxendine, and now Oxendine in transition. Crossover dribble, tough shot, no good off the backboard. He rushed that one, and now quickly the other way go the Sailfish. Tucker with a hook shot. Off the iron, no good. Tip in, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Tucker of the Sailfish. It'll be Saints basketball. Only 16 seconds elapsed since the last time we were in this situation. Out of bounds underneath the Saints basket. Richard Brown with it now. He's into the front court, and he'll slow it up. Smart play there from Richard Brown. Oxendine rushed it on the last possession. And now Brown steps through. Nearly a foul there on Clayton Williams. Brown throws the ball nearly out of bounds. Oxendine driving, shot attempt up, no good, but we've got a foul. The foul will be on the floor. So a 1-and-1 coming for Jarrell Oxendine, who has been phenomenal offensively tonight. That foul is on Clayton Williams. Oxendine at the charity stripe. On the season, he's 11 of 13. That one is in. Minute and 15 seconds left to go in this game. It's now a 3-possession game. That was a huge free throw from Oxendine. Second free throw is up and good. 2 of 2 from the line there is Jarrell Oxendine. He's got 15 points. And the Saints lead is now 8. Tucker with it on the block. Fall away hook shot, that doesn't go. Rebound by Matthews. Matthews is being harassed. And we've got one referee signaling jump ball, one referee signaling timeout. It really should have been a foul call. And we've got a timeout for the Saints. Matthews was being mugged by 3 different guys. No foul call. Nearly a tie-up was called, and the possession arrow would have pointed to the Sailfish. Big play there. We'll be back in just a minute. Saints lead by 8. You're listening to Saints basketball. Back at the Flagler Gymnasium, the Saints lead this one 76-68, just under a minute to go in this game. Saints with the basketball. They've got to beat the pressure of the Sailfish. And then from then on, if they can make some free throws, this one's over. Gibson will inbound. He throws to Matthews, and there's a foul. Matthews was held as he tried to get that basketball. Foul will go against Gearl. And Matthews, who is not a great free throw shooter for the Saints so far this year, came into the game shooting 40%. Number so low because of a 1 of 10 performance from the line at Puerto Rico, or at home rather, against Puerto Rico Rio Piedras. But in that game, Matthews had 18 points and 21 rebounds. Matthews at the free throw line, a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Saints. That's the guy you want to foul if you're the Sailfish. Free throw is up, off the front of the iron, no good. Rebounded by the Sailfish, and now quickly the other way goes Graham. We've got an offensive foul call. Graham cleared out with his forearm. And we've got a substitution coming in as Keith Matthews comes out of the game. He struggles from the free throw line, so he's going to come out here, and Conway comes in. Matt Conway, a much better shooter than Matthews. Gibson to inbound. Oxendine quickly doubled. He's got Diaz open if he wants him. Instead, Oxendine is fouled. 47.5 left to go in this game. Jarrell Oxendine will go to the free throw line, and Matthews gets ready to check back in an offense-defense substitution.
Stepping on the foul line for the Saints is number 5, Jarrell Oxendine.
Oxendine at the free throw line. He's got 15 points today. That one's nothing but net. Lead is up to 9. Conway comes out, Matthews comes in. Saints have to play defense without fouling here in this final 47.5 seconds. And they'll go home the winners. Second free throw is up and good, and Coach Clark wants to take a timeout. 10-point lead for the Saints, just a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back from the Flagler Gymnasium. You're listening to Saints basketball. Back at the Flagler Gymnasium, Saints with a 10-point lead, 78-68. Sailfish with the basketball. They've got to start getting some threes to go, some turnovers, some missed free throws from the Saints. Graham with it. He's hurrying it up into the front court. Passes to Hardy. Hardy steps into a three. That one's up and pure. Quick shot there. Only about 6.5 seconds come off the clock. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Sailfish are going to take a timeout here. Sailfish trail by 7. Saints will likely sub Matt Conway in here for Matthews, as Matthews has struggled from the free throw line. And at this point, the Sailfish have to foul. They can afford to take a few seconds to try to force a turnover from the Saints or force the ball into whoever they choose to have the free throw shooter be for the Saints, but double bonus time for the Saints, so 2 free throws coming regardless. And the 5 on the floor for the Saints will be Desmond Gibson, who will likely inbound the ball. Matt Conway, Dennis Diaz, Jarrell Oxendine, and Richard Brown. And Gibson will inbound. Saints coming out of a set that a lot of teams call railroad, the railroad cars. Oxendine with the ball, he's fouled. Almost immediately. About a second coming off of the clock there. We're down to 38.4, and Oxendine will go to the free throw line. He'll shoot a pair. Oxendine at the free throw line. He has 17 in this game. Averaged less than 10 a game coming into this one. Offensive explosion from Jarrell. He's got 17. Richard Brown has 18. That free throw rims out. Iron has not been kind to the Saints today. They've had a lot of shots go halfway down and come out. Matthews comes into the game now for Conway. For defensive purposes, Matthews the better rebounder and defender. Second free throw by Oxendine is up and good. 1 of 2 from the free throw line there are the Saints. And now quickly come the Sailfish. They need a quick 3-pointer. Instead they pass it into Tucker. Tucker falling away, shots no good. Rebound goes to Richard Brown, and Brown is fouled. Sailfish decided to go for the quick 2 there. It backfired on them as they could not get the 2 to go. A bit of time went off the clock, and now Richard Brown going to the free throw line. This game is all but over. Saints currently at their season average of 79 points per game, but they'll likely go over that as Richard Brown is a pretty good free throw shooter. First free throw is up, off the front of the iron, no good. Jinxed him a little bit. On the season, he came in shooting 75%. Second free throw from Richard Brown is up and good. Saints lead 80-71, 25 seconds left to go in this game. Sailfish inbound, and Graham falls to the floor. Graham hands off to Martinez. Martinez pulls up for a long 3 off the iron, no good. Rebound to Gibson. And Diaz throws a full court pass to Matthews. And Matthews will run out the remaining time on the clock. And the Saints will walk away winners in this one, a hard-fought game. Sailfish were leading by 5 at halftime, but a strong second half from the Saints. They score 48 points in the second half to win this one, 80-71. Saints led early on 10-2, and then were on the wrong side of a 19-2 run by the Sailfish before coming all the way back to tie the game in the first half, went to halftime trailing by 5, came out in the second half shooting much better. Strong games from Richard Brown, who had 19 points in this